I can't even speak. That's not good. Hello, and welcome back. I'm obviously Chris Boulder 117, of course. But yeah, it's been a long time. I've really not had a lot of... You know what, I'm not actually going to make an excuse for this, because there's really no reason to. I'm back! That's a major thing, and I'm going to be doing a lot more, hopefully a lot more videos as of late, hopefully. Not once every 6 months or a year or 3 months or years. Probably 3 years more likely. Moving on, hopefully I'm going to get on with this, and I'm going to do a top 10 top 10 video on my favourite Marvel villains from the MCU. This is from the MCU specifically as of date of the inception, which is 2008 to 2016. So that's an 8-year span of what villains they have, and it doesn't matter what medium, it's either in the films or the TV shows, okay? So they're all up for grabs. So this is really good, because I actually really like Marvel villains a lot sometimes. It's just some of them are better than others, and that's what this list is going to show. Let's get on with this. Number 10, Dossie Underwood from Agent Carter. From the first series of Agent Carter, she was really intimidating. At first, she was really a good villain, because she didn't know what she was. She thought she was some sort of lovable, doe-eyed 1940s girl, just come back, hopefully trying to look for work in New York. Then you find out she's actually a Black Widow assassin from Russia. Yeah, that makes it interesting, and obviously the parallels to Agent Carter, and she kind of becomes fixated on Peggy, and it ends in such a great way. And the fact that she didn't die in the end of the first series was great, because I thought we're going to get her back. She's going to be a lot more intimidating as a character now, and it's going to be a great second season. And it was a great second season. I'm just really sad Agent Carter didn't make it to a third series. It ended on such a good cliffhanger. Moving on. Number 9, the Mandarin from Iron Man 3. I know I'm going to get some stick for this, but I actually thought it was a really clever twist, because it was based in a sense of reality, and the fact that it wasn't the person you immediately thought was the Mandarin was a really smart twist, and I thought it was great. As much as I'm thinking people are saying it's not the real Mandarin, and I believe it isn't, I think there is a real Mandarin still out there, and he hasn't revealed himself yet. But from Iron Man 3, I thought it was a really fun twist, and the way Ben Kingsley played it was fantastic. He was a great actor to portray not just the some people call me a terrorist, that person, as well as the he's here but he's not here, he's here but he's not here, that kind of person. He was great, and I thought he was a fantastic actor to pick the job, and in the end I was really happy with it. And then Guy Pearce being revealed as the real Mandarin in the end was even better. I thought it was a really unique twist for the film, and it was something that you didn't see coming, which I think is what fans really made what unhappy with, is that we didn't see it coming, and the fact that they decided to butcher one of the best Iron Man characters out there. But hey, I still think it was a good twist. Number 8, Thanos. The entirety of the MCU. I know he's only been in 2 films technically as a voice actor, 3 films technically as a physical body, 2 with his voice, played by Josh Brolin. Fantastic casting, by the way, Marvel. Awesome. He was fantastic. He's really intimidating. Just that speech he gave to Ronan in the first Guardians film actually made me more afraid of Thanos than I was afraid of Ronan in the end, and that's kind of not what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to have the villain of the film be more intimidating, and then you've got like the big boss, the big intimidating boss, just like, yeah, you just killed my friend, I'm now going to bathe the Starways in your blood, you imperative child, kind of attitude. And I was like, he's a little bit incompetent, Thanos, I will admit to that. He has lost what? The Mind Stone, the Power Stone. He might get the Ether, we don't know, and he hasn't got the Tesseract. He's not got any of the stones. He had one, and he lost it. Yeah, that's not good. You might need to up your game a little bit, Thanos. Just a little bit. Okay, number 7. Colonel Helmut Zemo from Captain America Civil War. Played amazingly by Daniel Bruhl. And I know people are going to... I'm going to, again, get some stick for this, but I thought he was fantastic. He's the one villain on this list that has actually gone up against the Avengers as of late and tore them apart. That's intimidating. And I think that's what really stands out for this character, is that he was doing it for revenge. This very raw human emotion to do. And in the end, he actually destroys the Avengers. He tears them apart, which is intimidating. And if a man can do that, and Loki can't, or Ultron can't, but a man can do that, that spells a lot for just his villainy and his intimidation. And I think and he's obviously still alive now, so yes, we hopefully will get him back in a Captain America sequel, hopefully, which is always good to hear. Number 6, Grant Ward from the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. series. Now, again, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is probably not the show people really watch, but I enjoy it. I think it's really come into its own from season 2. It's become really, really smart now. It's become really good, especially with the Inhumans. And Grant Ward's been this staple of villains for the show. He's been great. To find out that he was this beginning of the show, he's this good, sort of goody two-shoes hero, and you're just like, he's not that great. To find out that he's actually Hydra was like, ooh, that's a twist I didn't see coming. And then it kind of works out from there, and then in the end he becomes Hive, an Inhuman called Hive, which I thought was a great twist to put the character in as well. I think Grant Ward died really right in the right way in the 3rd series, and then Hive taking over his body was like this big sort of insult to Coulson, and I think that was great. It was a great idea. It was good writing to it as well, and in the end, Brent Dalton got a good send-off as Hive and Grant Ward in 2 seasons, which was, I think, as an actor, you're just like, yeah, that's fine by me. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay, number 5, Ultron. Now, I liked Ultron in Avengers Age of Ultron. Played fantastically with James Spader because he was intimidating, and the fact that he's kind of like Tony Stark's evil doppelganger is fantastic. He was really quite creepy, and the fact that he is doing it because he sees humanity as a flawed and weak version of himself, sort of thing, and his grandiose god complex takes over, is really quite scary. And I think that's what makes Ultron so good, I think. And James Spader played it fantastically, especially playing off of Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark, which was fantastic to watch as well. Their scenes was just so fun to watch sometimes, and especially the end fight when he goes, now, with the relativity of hindsight, and then gets punched by the Hulk, was beautiful. And I think that is just a portrayal of how Marvel does really good villains as well, sometimes. Number 4, Loki. Obviously, I have to include Loki on the list somewhere, but he's not higher because the rest of the villains I prefer. I like these villains more, but Loki is really good. He is, again, has a very raw attitude to him. He's very lethal when he wants to be, but he's very human as well, even though he wants to enslave us. Go figure. But he's a very human character because he just wants to be acknowledged, but does it in all the wrong ways. He does it all in the wrong ways. He just wants to look good to his father, which we all try to do eventually one day, or we all do. And obviously he's being overshadowed by his big brother. And in the end, that's what makes, I think, Loki a good villain, because he's just trying to be that one person that is just all human and just trying to impress his father. And obviously he's now ascended to the throne of Asgard in the end of Thor: The Dark World. We'll have to see how that goes in Thor Ragnarok, coming 2017, luckily. Okay, number 3. The Winter Soldier from Captain America the Winter Soldier is a great villain. He is intimidating, lethal, doesn't care about anything. He will just, if you're his target, you're going to die, no matter what you do. And that is intimidating to watch. And it's just that, obviously finding out that he's Bucky is a much more of a gut-wrenching thing, because you're like, it's his best friend versus the hero, it's just destroying. And I'm going to get some stick, but I actually think the Winter Soldier is much more intimidating than Barnes is sometimes. But obviously Barnes is the hero, and Bucky's now got to deal with the psychological aspect of being the Winter Soldier, whereas the Winter Soldier never really had that problem. And I think for Sebastian Stan, who's actually playing him, he's got a lot to play off in the end, in the next several films coming up. So hopefully he's in the Black Panther film. Please let him be in the Black Panther film, please. That would be an amazing, amazing combo. Black Panther and the Winter Soldier. It would be a team film, sort of thing. So I hope that does happen. Okay, number 2 is Killgrave from Jessica Jones, Marvel's Jessica Jones. Now, if you're a young audience watching this, I'm going to tell you two things. One, you have to be over 15 or 18 to watch any of the Netflix shows. This is just out the door right now because they are dark. And not for darkness sake, they are really gritty. And Killgrave is one of the most sadistic, disturbed, violent, and just plain nasty villain I have witnessed in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Because he could say a few words and he's just like, so, do you like me? And literally like that, you'll be saying, yes, I like you. You sure? Yes. Now go jump out that window. And then you do it. Not hesitating like that. It's sadistically scary. Just a few words and you are literally under his spell. It's really quite creepy. And I have to admit, Killgrave did some of the most messed up things in Jessica Jones. Just a few highlights, not going to say who, but he made somebody shoot their parents. But yes, one. He then made a woman stab herself with scissors. Yes. He then also, might as well remotely mention this, made a guy put some head shears in between his mouth and then fall. And the shears went... What? I mean, that's, first of all, wrong, and just wrong. I'm really sorry, but he is and then by the time you learn that his parents had experimented on him and it was all really, really sadistically dark, you kind of felt sympathy for him, but then you realise he essentially raped Jessica Jones, mentally assaulted her as well as physically. That's pretty bad. And then it was just like the list of his villainy just kept going up and up and up, and you're just like, oh my god, I couldn't. As much as I love the show, which I do, it's a fantastic show. They wrote a fantastic villain, and David Tennant is a fantastic actor, portrayed him perfectly. And I can never watch Doctor Who anymore now, because all I'll keep thinking of is he'll go up to Rose and go, so, do you want to go on an adventure? Yeah, sure, okay. That's why I keep thinking he's Killgrave. He's not Doctor Who anymore, he's just Killgrave. So I hope he does come back for season 2, because that would be an amazing, amazing character to lose if you don't. Okay, my number one favourite Marvel MCU villain is from the Netflix series of Daredevil. His name is Wilson Fisk, aka the Kingpin. Whoa! He is brilliantly cast and brilliantly played by Vincent D'Onofrio. He deserves an award for playing the villain. He is that good. And the fact that he is also human and he is flawed, and the fact that some of these villains probably don't like getting their hands dirty, he loves to get his hands dirty. The one thing that everybody kind of remembers, the reason why Fisk was so good, is that this is the first series, by the way, he explodes with anger at one guy, and he physically beats him. He beats him, pretty much, and then essentially puts his head in between his SUV car door, and slams it. Yeah, not once or twice. He keeps going until that guy's head is off his body. Off! He manually decapitates a guy with a car door. That is wrong on so many levels. But also very, very intimidating for anybody who messes with Wilson Fisk. And the fact that he then he strangles a guy as well, which was quite scary. He then also beats up the devil, or the Daredevil, or the Devil of Hell's Kitchen he's called at that point. And the fact that he comes, if you've watched the second series, which I do recommend you do, he does make an appearance, obviously, and it's on for the internet now, so spoilers. He then manipulates the Punisher, which is a very difficult thing to do, and then is able to rise to power and become what we all now know is the Kingpin. And I cannot wait for Series 3, because that is the series when Wilson Fisk is really going to be a much, 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 much more dangerous player in that series, because he will be able to play all of the angles now. Corruption, crime, murder, everything. He will rule it all, and then he will try and kill both Matt and Foggy, which will be very scary, but also he's going to want to take out Daredevil as well. And I think that's very intimidating, and Vincent D'Onofrio plays that character perfectly, and that is why he's my number one. He's my favourite Marvel MCU villain out there. And I just want him to actually also to meet Spider-Man in one of the Spider-Man films, because that would just be intimidating. It's like a man-child versus what is essentially a 15-year-old. It's scary, and it would be amazing to watch. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you all guys all for watching for this. Like and subscribe if you can. Obviously, if you want more videos like this, that would be awesome. Hopefully next time I will do top 10 favourite Marvel heroes. Yes, I will do the heroes next. I've done the villains first because, why not? Villains always come first. Villains, if you have a good hero, you have to have a good villain. And Fisk is my favourite villain in a lot. The rest of them are all great. Helmut Zemo is actually quite good as well. He's really intimidating. Right, as I said, like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye.